This is how you use the weekly spending plan. Now, I know it looks a little bit crazy, but hopefully you will follow along. Now, this section here is week 1. This section here is week 2. This section here is week 3. And this section here is week 4. Now, I've broken it down in 4 weeks because that's usually when people get paid weekly, what it will look like for the month. Now, over here, you can put the date of that week in here. So I've given the example of the 1st because Monday was the 1st of Jan, which means I then can put in the 2nd week, the 3rd week date, and the 4th week. So I just put that in there so I can plot out what I'm getting each week. So just in here is where you put how much you're getting. So in this instance, I've said that's how much you're making in week 1, that's how much you're making in week 2, week 3, and week 4. Then you have these little sections here, which allows you to plot in the things that you have to spend money on, your expenses for that specific week. And it's really helpful if you put the date next to it. So say, for example, your rent came out on the 1st, so that's the 1st week, and your electricity came out on the 2nd, that's still within that week. You'd put how much they are. Same for your debt. If you know that your credit card only comes out on the, let's say it comes out on the 3rd, so it's within that 1st week, and it only comes out once a month, then you wouldn't need anything else in the other weeks because it's only coming out once a month. And then you can choose to either do weekly savings from each paycheck, or if you have a slightly bigger paycheck at other points, or less bills, you could do it from any week you want. But I've just done it for each week. So you plot out all of your fixed expenses. So go make a list of all of your fixed expenses, the dates that they come out, and plot them into the weekly calendars, whether it's week 1, 2, 3, or 4 accordingly. Then with variable expenses, which is things that you're going to spend money on, but you don't necessarily know when it's going to come out or exactly how much it's going to be, and you can set yourself a budget for it. So that's going to be things like groceries, socializing with your friends, petrol, travel, beauty, etc. So as you can see, I've given a couple of examples. If you knew that this week you're going for dinner with a friend, this week you had a night out, this week you knew you were going to the cinema, and that week you knew you had an activity. So you can plot it out according to those dates. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to give you a breakdown per week. So if you look at this little section, we've got total coming in, which is all of your income, total going out, which is all of these expenses down here, and it's going to tell you if for the week you're over or under budget. If it's in green, that means you're over and you have more to spend. If it's in red, that means you're overspending and you're going to go into the minus numbers. So let's just say you had a really, really expensive month and you had to buy a £200 beauty thing. That's going to go into red, so you're going to obviously need to know that you don't have enough money for that week and you need to either spend less, you need to make more income, you need to move things around, etc. And then down here, if you are somebody that operates with 2 accounts, which is a bills account and a spending account, this is going to break it down for you. So it's going to tell you what to leave in your bills account, which is a combination of fixed expenses and your debt. Then how much to move into your spending account, which is this section here, your variable expenses. And then it's going to be your savings goal, which is this. So it's going to tell you where to move your money. And that's a little breakdown. And you can do that for each week. Now, it's up to you whether you want to forecast for the whole month or whether you want to do it week by week as you go. That's up to you. And then over here on this little section, we have an overview of the 4 weeks. So it will show you what you've had coming in. So what your monthly salary is per week. And then what you've got going out, so all of your bills and expenses and spending for that week. And then it's going to tell you for the month if you've over or underspent. So hopefully that helps.